terrible injustice is happening in the state of California.
PG&E's monopoly territory is home to 17 million people. It's bigger than most state
families already struggle to pay their bills.
Some of the highest rates for power in the nation.
Committing crimes. PG&E was convicted of 91 felonies.
Really? I mean, what's next?
New Year's Day, PG&E power and gas bills will be going up 12 to 13%.
More than $1 billion rate hike.
How do you expect people to live?
What is the answer? What are we gonna do?
Only Graybeard can save us.
Once again, the man named Graybeard has saved the world.
Solar power is our only hope.
And welcome to the show. You're listening to SolarWise, hosted by yours truly. My name is Sean Davis, but in case you didn't know, in case it wasn't quite clear, in case you just didn't hear, I go by Graybeard, and you're along with me as I'm talking about powering your life with the sun. And today I am super excited, probably the most excited I've been of any show I've done this year. Today I'm going to be talking about a solar system that you don't have to pay for, you don't have to write a check for, you don't have to get a loan for, and get this, no future price increases at all. Most of these types of programs, I've got LightReach, I've got Everbright Power Shift program. Most of these types of programs have had some sort of a cost escalator, yearly, 3.5%. I'm talking about a program today, zero. Introductory offer. I don't think it's going to last very long. I think it's the best program I've seen in almost 5 years of being in the solar game. And if you want to get ahead of this, I've got some great information I'm going to be giving out as part of today's show. And if you'd like to get ahead of this, get an advanced copy of the information I'm going to share, then all you got to do is text BBB, 3 letters, BBB, which stands for budget busting bills. If you've got a budget busting bill of $350 or $400 or more, if you're a homeowner, this program's for you. It's one of the best programs I've seen for savings. And get this, no out-of-pocket costs, no money up front, zero loan, nothing in your name, no debt, and zero cost increases for the next 25 years. It's flat rate solar energy, one payment per month that never changes for a fixed amount of energy. If you'd like to get more information on that, that's what I'm going to be talking about during today's show. All you got to do is text BBB to 84503. Now, one thing, be ready for a phone call back because we're really interested in speaking with serious folks that have serious inquiries, serious interest at all. Because again, I don't think that this program is going to last very long. I think it's an introductory offering, no price increases for 25 years. What utility company has no price increases for 25 years? So I think that this is an introductory offer. I think for those that take advantage of it, you're going to look back on this as a wildly wise moment that you chose to lock in your utility costs at no future price increases, especially when PG&E is going out of control. So one last time, text BBB to 84503. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about the program. So effectively what I'm talking about is I've got 2 different companies. As a solar broker, I've gone through about 30 different solar installation companies trying to find the 11 that we work with now. And through 2 of these relationships, we've got 2 completely different programs, Power Shift and LightReach. And both of these programs are what we call power purchase programs. And effectively what that means is it's a solar system that is installed for your benefit, zero out-of-pocket cost from you, no money up front. They'll do all the permitting, all of the ordering of equipment, do all of the design of the system, work with the local jurisdiction out of the county or the city to get everything permitted, get it installed. And again, no money up front from you. And they'll do all of that as long as you agree to purchase or buy the energy that the system produces. And these programs have historically always had some sort of a future cost escalator, some sort of a rise in cost with time, because effectively, they're bearing all the responsibility of monitoring it, ensuring it, maintaining it. it's like a traditional utility company infrastructure. It'd be like the equivalent of either PG&E, for example, saying to you, you know what, we're not going to have any pricing increases for the next 25 years. That'd be wonderful if they said that. I just don't think that that's likely, and that's not something that we've seen, but this program has that. So with a power purchase program, they'll do all of the upfront permitting, all the labor of install, create a specific solar system to meet your specific needs at the property. And they take into account, for example, your exact roof orientation, how much energy, I'm so excited I can't even talk right. How much energy you consume monthly. They'll do all the forecasting of what the system will provide for you. And you get 2 to 6 batteries as part of this program. And you can actually choose from 2 different types. If you want the least expensive option, that would be batteries that have only the ability to store the excess energy that's created from your solar system throughout a day. On any bright, sunshiny day, just so you know about solar, there is no mechanism where I have a turbo button that allows me to have solar make more energy than it normally makes, nor is there a brake button that allows it to make less energy than it would normally make. So because solar energy is fixed and very regimented and not very flexible, you need the batteries to store the excess or the surplus energy, because if it gets sent to the utility, they're thieves. They keep 75% of anything that you send to them. So effectively, these programs have the choice of either a cost savings battery or the backup version of the battery, either one. And again, 0 out-of-pocket cost. And for the first time ever on this radio that I'm talking about, the first time I've had the option of being able to share this, a 0 cost increase. So imagine 5 years in the future. Is the pricing of the cost of the energy the same? Exactly the same. 10 years? Exactly the same. 15 years, exactly the same. So the reason I'm so excited about this is just think about this just for a moment, just to remind those of you out there in radio land that are PG&E customers for their electricity. PG&E on January 1st of this year raised rates 13%. And then March 1st, another 8%. And thus far for 2024, we've had four separate price increases from PG&E. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, there's another one expected at the end of the year, and more than likely will happen January 1st of next year, just because they don't want to compound and have the salacious news of 40+% rate increases in 2024. We are expecting another 19% January 1st of next year. So literally in a 366-day year, I know that 365 normally, right? So in 1 year period, 1 year and a day, PG&E has risen over 40% or will likely rise that. So imagine what is to come. If that's happening now, when currently in California, we still source 31% of what we consume for energy in the state from outside our own state borders. Currently, we want to still be carbon neutral by 2040, and currently Newsom has not retracted his executive order to mandate that all new cars sold in California after 2035 are electric vehicles. So with all of this coming, and this is on the heels of PG&E having raised rates in the last 10 years, 125% in a 10-year period of time, do you think that trend is likely to continue? And just so you know, right now, as you hear my voice, PG&E has another 10 rate increases tendered at the desk of the CPUC that they want enacted over the next year or two. 10 rate increases. And so what's got me so excited about this particular program is, for the first time ever, other than paying cash for solar or getting a 25-year fixed loan, we have not had 0 cost increase options. So a lot of people would be burdened with either taking on the financial burden of the debt of getting a loan, a 25-year loan to buy the system, or writing a check for cash. But now with this program, literally 0 out of pocket from you, no loan, no debt in your name, nothing that shows up on your credit report, okay? And 0 future cost increases for those of you that might be retired or near retirement or in your later years of life. Usually when you retire, you're on a fixed income. And what's been really, really jeopardizing for a lot of retirees has been this significant cost increases that we've seen for electricity. And it's outpacing any cost of living or inflation adjustments that you might have with your retirement income. And so it's just creating a massive problem. A lot of people are living well below their ideal comfort level inside their own homes just because they don't want to have a $600, $800, $1,000 energy bill come in the mail from PG&E. So that's why I'm so excited about this particular program. But let me pause here. If you're just catching up with us, what I'm talking about is as a solar broker, we've got two companies now. A company that is offering a program called PowerShift. Another company is offering a program called LightReach. And these are power purchase programs. So you don't pay for the solar. You don't write a check for it. There's no loan in your name, no debt in your name. All you're agreeing to do is purchase a certain amount of energy from a system that you didn't have to install yourself or pay for yourself. You're going to buy the solar energy production. Now, normally these programs had a 3.5% minimum cost escalator. I've got one right now, introductory offer. I don't think it's going to last. It's zero. No future cost increases whatsoever. So if you'd like to learn more, I've got a special report. It's called PowerShift LightReach. No loan, no debt in your name, and zero future cost increases. One flat rate monthly for 25 years. So if you've got right now a budget busting bill, we're calling all homeowners. This doesn't apply to renters. But if you've got a budget busting bill of at least $350 or $400 or more a month for electricity, if that's your average, the more energy you consume, the more savings you're going to see from this program. But if you've got a budget busting bill right now and you're interested in a program that is zero out of pocket cost to you and for the next 25 years, no future price increases, then this is what you need to do. Take out your smartphone right now. If you text BBB, which stands for budget busting bills. If you text BBB to 84503, a 5-digit number, 84503, my team's standing by right now. We're interested in talking with serious inquiries only, no price increases, no out-of-pocket cost, solar on your roof, a system you didn't have to buy, a system you didn't have to get a loan for, something you don't have to have credit balance for. If you've got a FICO of 650 to 700 or greater, this is your program. Text BBB to 84503, and then we'll be in touch immediately. We're going to reach out to you, try to get some basic contact information from you. And what we really want to do is get you a custom proposal for your property and for your usage. And again, 2 to 6 batteries is part of this program. So if you text BBB, which stands for budget busting bills, the bigger your bill, the better. Savings, our team will be in touch. So BBB to 84503. So one of the things that I really like about these programs is all of the production. So if I contrast this with like an owned system, when you buy solar, when you pay cash for it to get a loan for it, when you're the owner of the system, there is no company, no program out there that will guarantee that a certain amount of production will come from that system every year after. So for example, 5 years out, how much will it produce? 10 years out, how much will it produce? Nobody guarantees anything. But with production, with power purchase programs, there is something called a production guarantee. Number one, they insure all of the system. You don't have to insure it. They monitor it, third-party monitoring of the system. So for some of you out in Radio Land, you might have had a friend or a family member that had some sort of an issue with their solar and found out later that it wasn't operating correctly or functioning properly, and then all of a sudden they get this big true-up bill with the utility because they used more utility energy than what they were expecting because they didn't know something was wrong. So imagine third-party monitoring. And the reason that these companies have third-party monitoring is that they have something called a production guarantee. They have a minimum benchmark of energy that the system has to produce yearly for every year moving forward for the next 25 years. Otherwise, you as the homeowner are entitled to compensation because, again, the way these programs work is you're not buying the solar. You're not financing the solar. You're not having anything to do with buying or financing or owning the system. All you're doing is agreeing to buy energy from a system that you didn't have to pay for yourself and let someone else monitor, insure, maintain, and make sure it's working properly. So here's for you skeptics out there, because sometimes I get somebody, hey, Graybeard, what's to prevent these unscrupulous companies from, putting crappy panels on, and all of a sudden the system doesn't work, and now I'm stuck with this bill I got to pay. Well, here's the answer to that. It does not make sense for them to do that Because with these programs, you have a production guarantee, a minimum amount, usually 87 to 90% of the total solar energy from a system that's expected yearly. They will guarantee that the system will produce that amount of energy, which is why it's a custom to your house program. Your exact roof orientation, the angle, the exact orientation of your roof, north, south, east, west, all of this is curated, it's customized, it's specific to your property, and they can figure out with something called a sun eye when they do a site visit, they can figure out exactly at your property with your angle using lasers to gauge the height of trees, they can figure out how much sun your system will generate, and based on the wattage of those panels and how much those panels over a period of time, not only today, but 5, 10, 15 years in the future, how much energy those panels should produce if they're operating properly, and they will give you a guarantee. And what that means is that if the system does not produce that minimum amount, you're entitled to a refund back. They have to compensate you back. So it does not make sense for them to put crappy equipment or have an ineffective install or have you have problems because they're on the hook to pay you back if that does happen. So insured, third-party monitored, maintained fully. This is the closest relationship that you can have with solar to the relationship you have with the utility right now. If something happens and you're with PG&E and they send out a crew to go fix everything, you're not responsible for that cost. You're not responsible for any of that. They fix it, you get your energy, and you move on. This program works that same way. So again, what I'm talking about is two specific programs we have as a solar brokerage company. One company is called PowerShift. Another one's called LightReach, or the programs, that's what they're called. No loan, no debt in your name, and zero future price increases. This program, limited time. I don't think it's going to last. Introductory offer, zero. No future cost increases. 25 years, flat rate, one rate per month, the whole time. The program's in a system you didn't have to buy. So if you'd like to learn more, I've got this latest handout I'll give you if you text BBB. That stands for Budget Busting Bills. If you text BBB to 84503, my team's standing by. You're going to get a phone call back because we don't know anything about you. All we see is that you texted, you want more information. We see a phone number and BBB. That's all we see. So we'll reach back out with a phone call. We're interested in talking with serious homeowners that would like to explore an option where you don't have to buy the system, you don't have to get a loan in your name, it's cheaper than the utility coverage, and it's a flat cost monthly that will never rise. If you'd like to know more, then text BBB to 84503. Now, here's another option relative to battery storage. So I talked a little bit about batteries. I'm not going to go deep dive on this, but I do want to explain this. When you... So there's two different types of batteries available today, cost savings and battery backup. Cost savings, they only store the excess energy your system creates throughout a day to allow you to pull that energy back later. Battery backup, they store that excess energy also, but they also provide power in the event of a power loss. Both LightReach and PowerShift, these two different solar power purchase programs that I've got, both of them, okay, will provide or allow for either cost savings or battery backup, either one. So for those of you out there that are worried about, like energy Armageddon, some sort of, massive grid failure, we can provide backup batteries as part of that program. But I want to specifically contrast one of the biggest advantages, I think, of these programs, both LightReach and PowerShift, versus like paying cash for solar or owning a solar system. If you finance solar or pay cash for a solar system, either way, when you own it, the manufacturer warranty on batteries right now is Tesla has a 10-year warranty, and Enphase, which is, in my opinion, a better quality battery, has a 15-year warranty. So it's either 10 or 15 years. Meaning that if you buy the system, you're the one responsible if something happens to the battery for replacing it, which batteries were never meant to be 25-year lifelong batteries. So effectively, the panels are meant to be 25 years and were warranted for 25 years. The inverters are meant to be 25 years or longer, warranted for 25 years. Batteries were never meant to last 25 years, and that's why they're only warranted for 10 or 15. However, if you are part of the LightReach or PowerShift program, again, zero out-of-pocket cost to you. You don't have to get a loan, no loan in your name, cheaper than financing right now, less expensive than the utility. They increase the warranty on the batteries to 25 years because it's a 25-year battery-dependent program. So effectively, this is a huge, in my opinion, huge advantage to these programs, is that they will warranty the batteries for 25 years. So for those of you out in Radio Land that expect to be in your house a long time, 15, 20, 25 years or longer, and are interested in solar, you definitely, if you wanted to buy a system, you're going to have to account for eventually replacing those batteries because they're not meant to last that long. But with this program, no loan in your name, no upfront cost, fixed flat rate monthly with no future price increases, even with no future price increases, they will warranty the battery for 25 years, and that's part of this program. So once again, if I've got your attention, if you're interested, I'm super excited because I've not been able to talk about this. This is the only option I've had, introductory program, and it's for those that are serious homeowners that don't have solar now, with budget-busting bills of at least $350 or $400 a month. The more energy you use, the more your bill is, the bigger the savings you're going to see with this program. I would strongly encourage you to take out your smartphone right now and text BBB, which stands for Budget Busting Bills, those three letters, BBB, to 84503, and then be ready for a phone call back because my team will call you right away. We're going to phone you back. We're going to get some basic contact information. We want to get you a customized quote for this program. So if you text BBB and be ready for a call to 84503, my team will be in touch. And everybody that texts BBB to 84503 will get the Power Shift Light Reach, no loan, no debt in your name, zero future cost increases, one flat rate monthly for 25 years. It's a summary of how these programs work. So once again, text BBB to 84503. The other thing that I wanted to talk about just lastly before we end the show is the biggest objection that people have had with these programs is, number one, a future cost increase, which has usually been 3.5%. Zero right now. Introductory offer, zero. So we've addressed that. The secondary issue has been people have said to me, hey, Graybeard, what if I go to sell my house at some point? And what if somebody, what if they don't want the solar? It's been a big question. So I need you to take a moment and listen to what I'm about to say and really kind of process it. Do you really think PG&E is going to get cheaper with time? Probably not. Do you think that the next 10 years as California marches toward carbon neutrality by 2040 and Newsom wants everyone driving electric vehicles by 2035 and the California Air Resources Board is getting rid of natural gas hot water heaters and furnaces by 2030 and California is forcing more energy usage on us all and PG&E is charging us more for it. So do you really think a for-profit publicly traded company that has shareholders, stakeholders in the company that the sole mission of that company is to make money, do you not think that they're going to continue to step on the grass of future rate increases? Because effectively they've raised rates 125% in the last 10 years. And I think this next 10 years could be worse. So here's my point. If you go to sell your house 5-10 years into the future in PG&E territory and I'm right, and the problem gets worse, how marketable do you think a house without solar is going to be if everybody in the future is dealing with massive increases in utility costs, especially when you consider artificial intelligence? Now, take, for example, this program, zero out-of-pocket cost from you, no loan in your name, less expensive than the utility and a flat cost. If it's flat cost and PG&E continues to rise in the future, 10 years into the future, this thing could be 1/5 the cost of the utility and the utilities continue to raise rates. So how difficult do you think it might be 5-10 years into the future to have a conversation with a homeowner that wants to buy your house and you say to him this, effectively, about 10 years ago, we decided to cut our costs and we got this great introductory program and it was only available for a short period of time, but it actually has no rate increases. So when you take this over, not only is your current PG&E bill 4 or 5 times more expensive than this cost is, but this cost will be level and fixed for the next 15 years through the remainder of the program. Do you really think 10 years into the future, if I'm right about PG&E, someone's going to have a big objection to a fixed cost program that is 1/3, 1/4, or 1/5 the cost of PG&E? Do you think you're going to have a trouble getting them to want to take that on, take it over? If you get my point, if you think what I just said is reasonable, Here's one last time. This is an introductory program. I don't think it's going to last. If you text BBB, that stands for Budget Busting Bills. If you text BBB to 84503, if you've got an energy bill, an electricity bill that's $350 or $400 or more a month, that's a budget busting bill. We want to hear from you. We want to show you how this program can save you money. And again, for those of you that are retired on fixed income, 0 cost increases moving forward. 0 for 25 years. Flat solar energy rate for a system you didn't have to buy. Didn't have to get a loan. Didn't have to finance. Didn't have to write a check for. That is appealing. And everybody that texts BBB to 84503, again, those 3 letters, budget busting bills, BBB to 84503. My team's going to be in touch. We're going to contact you. We're going to call you immediately. We're going to get some basic contact information. We're not going to sell your information. You're not going to get on some list. We're not going to market you or spam you. None of that stuff. We just want to help you explore this option, see if this program with no future cost increases at all, fixed flat rate monthly for 25 years, we want to see if it can work for you. We want to see if it can help you save money today and then make sure that you, for that solar energy, never have to have another price increase for the remainder of the 25 years. We think that that's an incredible opportunity. And again, one that we don't think is going to last very long at all. So one last time, all you got to do is text BBB, Budget Busting Bills, BBB to 84503. And rest assured, my friends, I'm going to be back same time, same place next week to talk more solar. Graybeard out.
Thanks for listening to SolarWise. Graybeard Talk Solar. Please visit our website, solarwiseco.com, to learn more. And we will see you next time on SolarWise.